I'm really hoping that I can continue growing the game. That's my biggest thing, is just being able to share my love, share my intensity, share my hard work, share everything that I love about this game so much. So it's just an amazing opportunity, and I'm really thankful for it.
Hello and welcome back to Rinkside Rundown, the podcast that brings you inside the world of women's hockey, one story at a time. I'm your host, Chris Sinclair, and today's guest is Marah Wagner, a dynamic and hardworking forward who just wrapped up her first professional season in the SDHL following 5 seasons in the NCAA. Marah, welcome to the show. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Chris. Thanks so much for having me.
I am really excited to dive into your journey. Let's talk about your path to where you are right now. From Seattle to BC to the NCAA, now to most recently the SDHL, and now in the future, very near future, the PWHL. Let's start back at the beginning, okay? Your early days. You grew up in the Seattle area. How did you first get into hockey? What was it that originally drew you to the sport that you've spent so much of your life enjoying?
Yeah, of course. So being born in Seattle, it's West Coast, not a lot of hockey out there, but both my parents are Canadian. I have two brothers, an older brother and a twin brother. And so just kind of growing up, we all grew up at the rink. There really wasn't a time that I don't really remember not being at the rink. So it kind of just fell naturally for me, and especially with having my brothers, and playing with them and training with them, it kind of just drove me in that lane.
So you started off obviously on the West Coast in Seattle. Then you moved to BC, staying obviously on the West Coast. You moved to BC heading into grade 9. What was that like, making that shift from Seattle to, Seattle, States, BC, Canada? What was that like for you heading into high school, and how did that feel for you?
Yeah, of course. Honestly, it wasn't that difficult of a transition for me. Pretty much all of my family's up in Vancouver on my dad's side, and my mom's side's up in eastern BC in Alberta. So it was kind of like almost going home for me, because I was around all my family. Both my parents moved up with me and my twin and my brothers up there. So I was surrounded by family, so the move was pretty easy. And school wise, like my mom actually homeschooled us all the way up till 10th grade. 10th grade was when I made the switch to regular high school. So I was homeschooled all the way up. So making that transition wasn't really too difficult of a change for me. It was just a really fun experience, and yeah, I loved it.
And so, okay, so yeah, of course, then that makes it a lot easier when you're homeschooled. So I don't have to change anything there. I like that.
Yeah.
Um, do you feel like, or I guess rather, how did that shift help your development? Or do you feel like it propelled your development on the ice? Or do you think it was just it was going to happen regardless of where you were at? Like, what was that development on the ice from switching from Seattle then to now BC?
I mean, Delta Hockey Academy, where I was at, just was phenomenal. It was absolutely an amazing program, with Owen Piggin, Ian Gallagher, and those guys out there. Just really pushed my development, and really pushed me as a person off the ice as well. Um, so it was absolutely amazing for my development, being there, not only as a hockey player but as a person.
Oh, you set me up with the perfect assist, and I appreciate this because I wanted to talk about Delta, um, and specifically, the fact that you were named captain. You were named captain early on in your hockey journey. And so for you, what did it mean to be able to step into that leadership role so early on in your hockey journey?
I mean, like I said before, always kind of led by example. So all of that hard work, and just being recognized at such a young age, by that team. It was all a team voted, for the captains and assistants that year. So it really meant a lot, coming into a new team. It was the first year at Delta that they had a varsity women's team. So that was even more of just of an honor to be captain of that crew, and we won the championship that year. So it was awesome. We had a great group. It really did help me develop into the player and the person I am today. Just having that, learning being a leader, from that young age. So I'm really thankful for that opportunity.
When you think back to Delta, who were those specific individuals that really helped elevate your game? And what was it about that program specifically that you think really laid the foundation and helped you to become, we're going to get into it, but the player that you are, you really are a full 200-foot player. And that starts early on in your career, or at least that foundation is started early on in your career. What was it about Delta that you think really set you up for this?
Yeah. I mean, at Delta, there is just such a good routine, such a good schedule. We were up on the ice early in the morning, training in the gym, going to school together as a team. Like everything we did together was a team as a team. So that really helped with every aspect of it, from the development side of hockey to the personal side, and the team side of things. Uh, Owen Pagan was just an absolutely amazing person, amazing coach for me. Also Dom DeRocco, both of them really pushed the team, pushed me as an individual to continue developing my game and, developing my leadership skills. And then in the gym, Ian Gallagher, I mean, he's just an amazing trainer. Like he knows what he's doing. He's got it dialed in. He's just an amazing person too. So just learning from all of those people, um, really helped me out, moving forward in my career.
For you, and I want to start off with this question because I always want to take advantage of the opportunity to speak with a Canadian about ultimately choosing the NCAA route as opposed to U Sports. Could you maybe start by just talking about what went into the decision to go the NCAA route as opposed to, for example, the U Sports route?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it was kind of a difficult decision. I didn't really know exactly where I wanted to end up, NCAA or U Sports. But also being from the States and being exposed to a bunch of my friends and other teams and tournaments, and have seeing players that were committed already to schools and stuff, it made me kind of really look and see where I wanted to develop and where my game fit best. And it just kind of came to the decision of where I saw myself fitting in. And I thought my game kind of emulated the NCAA style a lot better. So that's kind of what went down into that decision. And also being a dual, with US and Canada, kind of made that decision like a little easier because I could really go whichever route, pretty easy. So yeah.
Yeah. So, and yes, yeah. Thank you for the correction there. I said Canadian. I meant to say dual citizen, but of course, yes. So ultimately, you did end up choosing the NCAA route. You started with Robert Morris, before RPI. We'll get to RPI in just a moment as well, of course. But when looking at your NCAA options, what made Robert Morris the right next step for you, the right first collegiate step for you?
Yeah, of course. I was talking to a lot of teams. I committed to RMU, grade 11. So a little bit later than everybody else, but I think it's a good decision to kind of commit a little bit later, so you kind of get a feel of where you want to be. Um, but it really went into like I visited the school, I visited a bunch of other schools, just talking to the coaches, Paul and Logan there. I got a good feeling about it, and I really liked the direction they were going as a team. I like that small school feel as well. Um, and also it's kind of funny because my grandma and grandpa used to live out in Pittsburgh as well, so it was kind of a funny connection after I committed. I was like, "Oh, I'm going here," and my grandma was like, "We lived there," and I'm like, "What?"
Oh, I love that. That's great. I love that
Yeah,
family. There's like these little like nuggets of family that have like that follow you throughout your career, even in this case when it was
yeah,
completely unintentional.
yeah. It was crazy. I was like, "Wait, what?"
I love that. I love that. And you know, when you think back to your time at Robert Morris, again, winning, you won there as well, right? You won the 2021 CHA championship. Um, what did it mean also to choose this program and to see success for obviously you personally, but the program as well, especially based off the fact that, like you said, you enjoyed or you liked where the direction that the program was going, and then there was success.
Yeah. I mean, it was just absolutely amazing being a part of that team. In the season before, we made it to the finals. We lost, and we knew we were hungry for that next win. We wanted it the next season, and then also with COVID coming in, that was a whole nother obstacle after that my freshman year. So it was just a lot of adversity that we faced together as a team. A lot of challenges, ups and downs with quarantines, testing protocols. So just getting that win, getting the championship that year with the team was just absolutely amazing.
And when we talk about overcoming obstacles or overcoming challenges throughout your career, those are some pretty major ones. Of course, COVID. We all had our own. We all dealt with that, certainly in our own ways as well. How how much value or how good does it feel to now be on the other side and to have grown and developed and maybe speak to that growth and development that you went through during in overcoming those major obstacles and challenges.
Of course. Yeah, I mean, it was a crazy experience, and looking back and just seeing how much growth I've gone through the past, being in college for those 5 years, and all the different obstacles that, myself and all of my teammates had to face during those times. It just was crazy looking back. I'm like, "Wait, how did I get through that? How did we battle through this together as a team?" And I mean, that just really shows on a lot of people's character and their commitment to the team and everything. So it it's amazing. It's a crazy, amazing, wonderful thing. So
I guess because all of us were, you know, there was quarantine, so we couldn't be around one another. How much more important then was it to be able to go through that sort of experience together? And how do you think it made maybe changed your perception of being a teammate, of being a leader when you had to go through quarantine and all these different experiences through COVID?
yeah, I mean, it changed my outlook on a lot of things. Just kind of different ways to be together as a team, even though you physically couldn't see each other. We got sent into quarantine just the start of November for our team. I think I was in quarantine. I never got it. I never tested positive when I was in quarantine, but I was in there for, I think, at least 3 weeks, which was crazy. I was just alone in a room, 3 weeks, doing school online. But we had a lot of team meetings, team workouts over Zoom, team yoga sessions. Like we had so many things that brought us together as a team in that time, that it made when we did get back together so much easier. So we just knew we had to hit the ice running. once we got back from quarantine.
Oh my goodness. And I bet getting back together and back on the ice together, oh boy, would that have been. It's like, you know what? It's been great seeing you on a computer screen for so long, but now it's even better seeing you
Yeah,
in
it's like,
person.
oh wow, you're a person.
Oh, right. Yeah, yeah, you have a lower half. This is great. I love
Yeah.
this. Yeah, yeah. Um, so, as we look at throughout your collegiate career, as we've mentioned, started at RMU, Robert Morris, then you went to RPI. Um, Maybe talk about that journey going from the two different programs. What was that like for you?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it was kind of a crazy experience because I didn't really expect it to happen to be transferring after my sophomore year. So that definitely came as a shock for me. But definitely something that I was really happy in the end. I really liked RPI, liked where I ended up. Um, but it was a crazy experience because that would came out of the blue when Robert Morris cut their programs, both the women's and men's side of hockey, and just being able to look at other options for the upcoming season and really push myself to be like, okay, this is where I want to be. How do I find the right team, the right place to go to next? So that was a decision that I had to make pretty quickly. We had about, I don't know, 2 months to figure out a new team. And of course, the transfer portal was already crazy loaded with players that from that COVID year. Um, so it was just a crazy experience in and of itself. But just being able to find a new home at RPI and really be a part of that family there, they really opened their arms to me and really brought me in and allowed me to be myself, allowed me to really showcase my leadership and showcase my skills on the ice and really help develop that team and help build that team up.
Um, and so let's then, you mentioned it just there. Let's talk about leadership. So throughout your career, you've had the opportunity to be a leader. I mean, and I always put this caveat here, as a player, you don't need to have a letter to be a leader, of course.
Of
But
course.
in your case, you also did have letters throughout your career. What does leadership mean to you, and has that changed over your time in the sport?
I mean, like you said, like leadership for me was always leading by example, pushing the paces of everybody. Being put in these positions have it's really opened up my eyes to being more communicative with my teammates, more connected with them, not only on the ice but also outside of the rink, like in classes, just hanging out, just just chilling out and just having fun together as a team and connecting on different levels than just the hockey side of things. So leadership to me is just a big part of just connection and being there for each other and building the best program, the best team that you can that season, and just making sure everybody's giving their best.
When reflecting now, and we're going to get into where you spent this past season, but thinking about those 5 years, how do you think you were able to balance those obstacles, those challenges, being great on the ice, developing your style on the ice, while also, having being successful academically, and also wanting to have some sort of social life, some sort of life away from the rink? How do you balance all of those things and somehow still keep a smile on your face?
I mean, I think that's everybody's challenge, balancing college athletics. It's definitely something that you can try your best to prepare for, but you don't really know how to until you're experiencing it yourself. Um, I really leaned on my family a lot. My family has always been my support, my rock. Um, they've always been open to me calling them up whatever hour of the day, and so they've just been amazing for my support system going through all of these changes with school and hockey and that whole college experience and just also that transition from from RMU to RPI. They knew what my goals were. And they supported every aspect of that. So having that support system from them was huge for me. Um, Another aspect of it was just my friends. Also, I have such amazing friends that are always open to talking and discussing things. So very, very thankful for every single one of them. And it was just a lot of balancing, a lot of getting into a routine. A routine is just probably the biggest part of any athlete's life. Making sure my things are all scheduled out, from just planning out hour to hour everything and meals, like walking to the rink, walking back to class, going to class, test, study time. When do I want to cook? Do I want to meal prep this week? All of that stuff. Like it gets a lot, but if you just kind of look at it in the bigger picture and break it down and are able to kind of schedule things out, that's what I did to kind of de-stress myself and manage everything throughout my career.
This episode is brought to you by MB Performance Nutrition, fueling the next generation of hockey players. Whether your athlete is just starting out or chasing next level performance, MB Performance Nutrition has free resources to help, like a meal timing guide and protein powder buying checklist. Founded by Melissa Bufunos, a certified holistic nutritionist and former elite hockey player, MB Performance Nutrition also offers one-on-one coaching, team workshops, and more. Learn more at melissabufunos.com. That's MELISSABOUFOUNOS.com. When you look at taking that next step from your collegiate career to your year in the SDHL, talk about how much more important it was for you to have that solid foundation, that support system, both in your friends, of course, but as well as in your family because that's a huge change. How much more important, or how great did it feel to have that support when making such a big change in your life?
I mean, it was crazy. I mean, making that change, living in Sweden, was just an absolutely amazing experience, but also having a time change of 9 hours away from my family, made it even more difficult because I wanted to wake up in the morning and call them up. And then I was like, wait a second, it's like
You have to do
1
the
a.m.
math,
their
and it's
time.
like,
I'm like, wait, I can't call them right now. I can't wake them up.
yeah,
Like they're
yeah,
sleeping. They got work tomorrow.
yeah, yeah.
uh, but so I always had to I always was texting with them, checking in, with a lot of texting. And when I did get to call with them, like we would call for hours. Like we'd be on the phone way too late for my time. Um, but my schedule was kind of a little funky. We had like our afternoons. We're all at the rink from around, like I was usually from the rink at like lunchtime till I don't know 6 8 p.m. at night.
Oh,
So
wow.
like I'd get home and I'd be like cooking dinner or warming up dinner, and I'd just call them up and be like, "Hey guys, how's your morning? Are you making pancakes this morning?"
Yeah.
And we'd just chat, see how everybody was going. They're just the biggest support for me. I don't know if I could have done it without them. Family's just always been the biggest thing for me. Making sure they're in my life. That's why I always come back for the summer, and I always go live with my parents for the summers because I just want to be around them. They're great people, and they're my training buddies. Me, my dad, and my two brothers, we hit up the gym every time in the summer. That's our little training pod. And we also hit the ice a bunch and train together and play roller hockey. And it's just amazing. And me and my mom always hit up yoga and do all that fun stuff. So it's just I'm just so thankful to have a family that supports me the way they do, that drives me to be the person I am. And it's just amazing.
So I also want to talk about your playing style. Maybe just share, more about your playing style, but why specifically, it's like you eat up pucks. You should have been a goaltender, is what I kept looking at things.
Well,
I was like, she should have just been a goaltender. It would have been a lot easier for her.
oh, well, I did have my little 3-year spurt of goaltending back when I think I was like in 10, 11, 12. I wanted to be a goalie so badly. And I was just like, you know what? I want to score goals. That was the turning point. I was like, I can't just be stopping pucks. I have to be scoring goals. I want to be hitting people. I want to be doing all of this stuff. I can still block shots out there while I'm
Yeah, that's a good
playing. So,
compromise. Yeah, that's a good compromise.
so
Yeah, yeah.
it was a little bit of a compromise there, heading back to forward, and I think that's where I also get a lot of my just reaction time and blocking ability is just from learning a lot of goalies. I mean, I was always out at goalie ice. Throughout college. And I love doing that just because I learned so much from goalie positioning, where their weak spots were, how to identify them, how to like just maneuver around them a lot better. That really developed my game. But kind of getting back more on my playing style, like you said, I'm a gritty two-way forward. I love buzzing all over the ice. I love being right where the puck is, battling things out, getting the dirty goals, getting the pretty goals, all of that. Um, I just love working hard. I love being just everywhere on the ice. If I could be 10 places at once, I would love that.
Is there like maybe a player, it can be on the men's side, the women's side, that you feel like you would be closely comparable to, or maybe someone that you have maybe modeled certain aspects of your game after? Not to say you
Yeah,
are your own person, of course, but
of
sometimes these
course.
things are subconsciously applied to you.
I'm gonna pull the family card out again, and I mean my biggest role models like throughout my whole career and to this day have been my brothers,
Mm.
my older brother Aiden and my twin brother Nick. I mean just learning from them and learning their playing style and having them push me when we train together and getting on the phone with my brothers after a game and I'm like, hey, what did you see there? And they're just pinpointing everything and they're discussing things that I could improve on and things that I did good. Like me and my older brother, when I got back here for the summer, I was like, hey, do you want to look at some video with me? Like, I just want to run through a couple games, like, and just see what I need to really bear down here this summer on. And he's like, oh yeah, sure. I think we went through like 10 different games and we were just going after everything. We were be like, oh, that's good. Oh, we need to work on that a little bit more. And then I'd go over and we'd watch his games and I'd be like, okay, we need to work on this. Oh, that was good. And so just having them as role models and having them close and being able to bounce ideas off of them and really have that truthful feedback is honestly the best thing ever.
They are going to love how much you mentioned them in this conversation. It's going straight to their head for sure.
Yeah, oh,
Uh,
100%.
yeah,
I need to
yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. Otherwise, you're never going to be able to go back from this. So as you know, as we just spoke about a moment ago, we kind of touched on the SDHL aspect of your career. When you think back to the decisions that went into, completing your collegiate career to I still want to play, but I need to look at my options. What led you to the SDHL and what was that experience like for you?
I mean, I knew I wanted to continue developing my game in one of the best leagues. I mean, SDHL is one of the best leagues out in Europe, so being able to be a part of that, it really offered like a fast-paced competition, a lot of just different playing styles, different game, really kind of opened up my viewpoint on a lot of different playing styles and just how to play against them and how to play with them. Um, so it was just a great experience being out there, being able to just experience a whole new country, a whole new playing style, and really showcase myself out there as well.
Well, yeah, and I think it's really important too, as part of your growth and development, is to challenge yourself, push yourself outside your comfort zone, right? And talk about pushing yourself outside your comfort zone. Go to a different country,
Yeah.
entirely different country with a different language. Um, could you maybe also, and I think this question might also apply for people who are also looking at their various options and maybe are a little bit scared to go outside their comfort zone. What was the experience like away from the ice? What was it like living in Sweden? What was the culture like? What were some of your maybe like, oh, I wasn't expecting it to be like this at all? Or like, what were those moments like for you?
I mean, like I said, it was absolutely amazing being out there. I loved every second of it. Making that transition from being a college athlete to a professional player, I had so much time that I was like, wait, what do I do with this? Oh, I can go to the gym an extra time today. Oh, I can go on the ice like 2, 3 times today. Like I was so excited. I was like, okay, I can go do yoga. Yeah, I have all this time. I can finally read a book that I want to read. Um, so it was honestly so cool to have that experience and just be able to experience that whole culture. I was honestly really surprised at how easy the transition was. Um, I mean, with the Swedish language, I tried my best to learn it. I have like a 292-day streak on Duolingo right now. I'm
Oh, look
still
at
keeping
you.
it up
Yeah,
because I'm
good.
like, you know what? You never know. I like the language. It's cool. It's really difficult to learn for sure. But I really kind of embraced that whole place. Skellefteå, it's a small town, but just a huge heart, huge community there. Just awesome to be a part of that place. I lived downtown by myself in an apartment, so I was always walking around downtown, going to coffee shops, going to the library. Went over to the museum a couple of times, just kind of exploring the area, exploring the city and the culture, and just trying my best to integrate myself in that whole place. So it was an awesome experience.
Let's look at this exciting next chapter, and I'm going to keep saying that it's something that I know that it's going to get annoying to hear. Just this is a really exciting next chapter
It
of your
really is.
yeah, with the PWHL. So before I say anything else, before I ask a million follow-up questions, before all that stuff, I just want to pause and say congratulations to get
Thank
to
you.
this point, to declare for the PWHL. It's incredible. How are you feeling right now?
I mean, it's a crazy feeling. I just feel so much pride, so much gratefulness and gratitude to just everything in the past, all my experiences, all my coaches, my family, my friends, everybody just getting to this point. It wasn't a solo mission. It was everybody. So being able to be a part of this draft class and be a part of something just bigger than myself. Like women's hockey's growth in North America has always been a passion of mine. And I just I wanna see it grow so big. I want a billion teams out there. And I mean it's just so amazing to have the teams coming in Seattle and Vancouver. I never expected that in a million years. And I was always hopeful. I was like, oh, it'd be so cool to have some pro teams out on the West Coast, like to be able to like have the opportunity to play back home and play in front of my family again and just have that connection up in Seattle and Vancouver again. When they announced I was so excited. I don't even know.
Well, and I was gonna, it was funny you bring that up, or it's interesting that you bring that up because I was gonna ask you specifically about your feelings towards having that potential. There's a potential that you could be drafted and you're gonna be playing professional hockey back home. And when you think, especially when you think back on your journey in hockey, when you were in college, even as recent as college, it was like, I guess either I'm going to wait for a national program opportunity or my career is going to take me permanently, potentially to the SDHL, which is still, as you mentioned, an incredible league that's developed incredible athletes, a really, really high level of play, but it isn't back home. So when you think as well, like, how cool is it? Do you, like, I know that you kind of mentioned it, but how cool is it to just like, you could be playing professional hockey, something 2, 3 years ago wasn't an option back home, like at home. How crazy
I
is this moment right now for you?
I honestly don't have any words. Like it's it's just amazing. I It's something that I've always dreamed about,
Uh-huh.
but didn't really think it was possible in my time because hockey's been so concentrated on the East Coast, and it's a great place to get everything started because there's just such a concentration of women's hockey out there, of youth programs. But just knowing how much passion uh, the hockey community has out on the West Coast, I'm like, they have to get it out here. They have to find a way. So it's just amazing. And every time I go back up to Seattle and Vancouver and see the programs that I played at and seeing how much growth that's been there on the hockey side, it's amazing. Like I was talking to some people last year when I went up to Seattle and coached a girls camp up there for my one of my old associations, Snow King. Um, and I think when I was their age, 10, 11, 12, like there was no chance you were getting anywhere close to like a 40-person camp for girls. Like you maybe got 10. Um, so just being able to actually run a full girls camp that's high level, that's high pace, everybody's like just excited to be there. I mean, it's a dream come true for me. It really is.
Okay, so once again, you've set me up with a really great segue. So thank you once again. This is great. We didn't rehearse this, and I love this. Love when it happens. Um, because I want to know as well. You know, thinking back on your career early on, as you mentioned, or truly throughout your career, your brothers have been huge influences, huge role models for you. Your family, I would say, let's be honest, your family in general. Not to give them another shout out, but here we are. But it's obvious that they've been really important to your growth, and influence to you both on and off the ice. When you think now you're about to embark on a professional career in which young girls are going to be looking at you and saying, I want to be like Marah Wagner, what does that mean to you to be that role model and to be that influence and that inspiration, for so many young girls? They're going to be going to the rink and want your signature. Like, what does this mean to you in this moment right now?
I mean, it means the world. It means the world to have this opportunity to have um just to be able to be a role model to anybody in the position that I'm in. I mean, growing up, like especially on the West Coast, I didn't have a lot of female players to look up to personally. It was always the national team players that were always from the East Coast, which was amazing, but I didn't have anybody I could really relate to that was close to my age or had the same goals or had already made it to the level I wanted to. And so being able to be that player that is from the West Coast, that is representing these players and representing Seattle, Vancouver, and it's it's honestly just the most amazing feeling, and I'm really hoping that I can continue growing the game, growing everybody's passion. That's my biggest thing, is just being able to share my love, share my intensity, share my hard work, share everything that I love about this game so much to everybody. Um, yeah, so it's just an amazing, amazing opportunity, and I'm really thankful for it.
Well, and I think I speak for everyone, certainly through this conversation, in wishing you good luck as you look at this next, as I've said, exciting new chapter, next chapter. It's difficult not to root for you. You have an incredible story and obviously are very passionate and also, I think, humble too. And I think that's one of those incredible attributes that you bring to any team, but also to this league. So, before we move on to the final segment of today's show, I wanted to say good luck in this exciting new chapter.
Thank you so much.
All right. So, as we started today's episode with a game, we will now finish with another game. Okay.
Sounds good.
It's always great to be on this side because then I don't actually have to play the game. But this one is a rapid fire question segment of the show. And as I always say, it's rapid fire, not because you have to be quick in your answers, but that I am encouraged strongly to not ask any follow-up questions. So it's rapid fire on my end. You can take as long as you want to answer these questions, okay? Ready?
Ready.
Let's dive in. Let's dive in. Okay. Go to pregame meal.
If it's early if the game's earlier, definitely an omelet loaded with veggies, maybe some oats and yogurt. If it's later on in the day, definitely have to go with like a big salad with some salmon and rice or chicken.
What is your favorite cheat meal or maybe a treat that you love indulging in?
And that's the thing with me. I'm a big baker. I loved baking. I love baking and cooking. So I'm a sucker for some chocolate chip cookies. And also my mom's burgers they're spot on.
Do you have any superstitions or pregame rituals?
I always have to get my right side on before my left side when I'm getting dressed for games. I just feel so wrong if I do it the other way or mix match. So always the right before the left. And then also I usually almost pretty much every time tape up all of my sticks every single game. Unless there's no way I touched the one, then it's okay. But if I touched it, it is getting retaped.
Okay, let's see if let's see if all of these rituals continue
Right?
as you progress through your career. Bring us into the dressing room from this past season. Who owned the dressing room music and what was played most often?
Man, we had a couple of girls on aux. I'm not a big aux person. Um, yeah, I like having my AirPods in. I'm not a big sharer of my music. But my line mate, Laura, she was the queen of aux this season. She had some great tunes, everything from like rap to Swedish music to EDM. Like she was always bumping the tunes, getting the mood right. So it was awesome.
Good, love that. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be on aux. That's way
No.
too much pressure for me.
Yeah,
Um,
I'll play music in my car. That's as far as you're getting me.
yeah, that's the extent. Yeah, I totally, I get that. I'm on the same page. What's one thing that people don't know about you?
I mean, I've mentioned it a couple times. I'm a twin. I have a twin brother.
Yeah.
So a lot of people like they'll hear that, and then I'll be midway through the season, and I'll be like, "Oh yeah, my twin," and they're like, "Wait, you have a twin?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you guys didn't know that?" And they're like, "No, I didn't know that." So yeah, that'd probably be one of the main things that a lot of people don't know about me.
Good answer. What's one word that your teammates would use to describe you?
Um, Gosh, that's a hard one. Have to be just hardworking. Yeah, power forward.
Yeah,
I don't know.
hardworking. I like it. Okay. What's something that remains on your bucket list? It,
I'll give you a little bit of both. So
okay, good.
outside of hockey, I really want to go snorkeling. Never done it. Definitely want to do that. With hockey, Walter Cup, of course.
If you could talk to your younger self, what would you tell her about the path ahead?
Man, I would just say your hard work's gonna pay off. You gotta trust the process. You gotta keep going. There's gonna be so many bumps in the road and so many highs and lows that you're gonna make it out okay. You're gonna do just fine. And you're going to get the opportunity to play hockey back home again.
I want to know as well, lastly, when people look back at your career, what do you hope they say about you?
I mean, I really just hope when people look back on my career, they see my passion and love for hockey. They see that I've put everything into this, everything into being where I am, building the game up, that I had an impact not only on the ice but off the ice, with my team, with the community, with women's hockey. And I just want to just be there for everybody, and be that support, be that role model, and really help pave the way, for what's coming up next for women's hockey here in North America.
Oh, what a great answer and a great way to end today's episode of Rinkside Rundown. A big thank you to Marah Wagner for joining me and walking us through her incredible journey. It's been an absolute honor having you on the show today.
Thank you so much, Chris. I had such a wonderful time talking with you, and yeah, thank you so much.
Good. I'm so glad. And if you enjoyed this episode as much as the two of us did, make sure you subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your fellow hockey fans. Your support helps us to grow and bring you more inspiring stories just like this one from around the world of women's hockey. I'm Chris Sinclair. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you next time on Rinkside Rundown.